We are working in a short, simple test project, consisting of a single track capture on track 1. The track capture has been narrated. And if we scrub, we can see that the screen action is basically the cursor moving around the canvas. First thing I'm gonna do is separate audio from video, so I'm gonna right-click on the track capture, separate audio and video. This will make it easier to manage placing of dynamic captions. With the playhead at the beginning of the project, I'll use the C key. To go to dynamic captions, and I have a dynamic caption profile I'll use, that's this one, right-click, add it to the timeline. That causes dynamic captions to automatically be generated for the audio section of this project. To simplify this, I'm gonna go Ctrl-Shift-7. Gonna trim back the dynamic caption asset. To match the rest of the project, Ctrl-Shift-7 again, fills the timeline, and I'll give myself a little bit of working room here. The thick purple line you see here indicates that dynamic captions have been created for this audio clip. Dynamic captions are embedded in the audio itself. To see them, I'm going to use Ctrl-Shift-9 to zoom, and then I'm gonna click on the purple line to expose the dynamic captions. First thing I'm gonna do is play through this and get an eyeball on the timing of the dynamic captions versus the narration in the clip, so we'll play it. This is a short test capture being made of the Camtasia editor's user interface. Screen action is basically the cursor being moved around the screen. Okay, there's some errors there. I'll send the playhead back to t=0. I'm going to make a selection in the beginning here. And I want to play this a couple times. Let's see what happened. This is a short test capture. Okay. In the beginning here, we go. Click on this audio clip. We're in the captions themselves, we're missing the word this. Let's play that again. This is a short, yeah, the word this is missing. Actually, I think we're missing 2 words. Because it says this is a short test capture. Because I'm missing a word, I'm gonna need to add some, so the first thing I'm gonna do is insert a track below dynamic caption track, so we'll insert track below. Now we have some space. I'm gonna send the playhead home, Control-Home. Gonna go to my library, so we'll go to the R key. And let me find my correct library. In my library, I have some assets that I created that are basically individual dynamic captions that were sent to the library after the word had been deleted, so that it was changed to a number. In this case, I've got one that says 001. And I'm gonna add that right about here, so we'll right-click. Add that to the timeline. I need to pull it down below the dynamic caption before it will display. Now you can see it displaying. So we've added a new word. And all I did to get that asset was to take a section of the audio. Like, I could do this. Make this solo track, so all I have is silence the audio here. Change the text on here from with this one says text to, in this case, 001. Add it to my library, and for each one of these words we're gonna need a separate library asset to do that, because each one added has to have a unique identifier. But I have 5 words I can use. I've just added one that will go from here to here. And I think what I was missing is this is a short test capture, so I've got to change this. And I'm gonna do that by shortening this and adding another word. Same drill, although I'll shorten him up here, bring him down here. And now I can select this. Click on this. Go to my captions. We'll say this. Click here to save it. I'll get the next one. Select. Is select. Save it. So now if I scrub I can say this. Is. A short test capture. Now having done that, I can adjust the timing by playing across here. This is a short test capture. Alright, these are coming in too early. And this should be captured here. So let's slide this out of the way. Play this back. Test capture. Capture, so that's where capture starts right there. Short testing, this is test. This is a short is right here. This is a short. This is A. That means that this one's gonna be this. It still B is, and I'll put this one up here, so let's play this. This is a short test capture. Being lit. Fine. I'll do the same thing for down here to adjust the timing and replace any missing words if necessary. I've now gone through the little project. I didn't find any more missing words. Let's play this and see how the lineup now is to synchronize the audio with the captions. This is a short test capture. Being made of the Camtasia editor's user interface. Screen action is basically the cursor being moved around the screen. Alright, that looks pretty good. I want to point out that these dynamic captions that look like this, these are what I call pauses. If you cross one, you can see that the caption before that's, in this case screen, is cut off. You can do the same thing, by the way. If you don't have one of these, you can delete it, select it, delete key. And you notice now that the caption keeps going, but if I add a split to the audio clip, use the S key. The capture now terminates where I added the split. That's the same as that little blank spot. That's a solution you can use. I'm gonna use Ctrl-Z a couple of times to replace that, just so I'm back where I started. Now if I wanna add some ending to this, where we don't have any more original narration, I'll just use voice narration. So it's a Ctrl-Shift-N to start voice narration. This was the end of this project. Ctrl-Shift-N got rid of it. And I'll just save that. Boost the gain so it's the right level, bring him back to where I want him to start. And I need to trim this back now so that I can pull this below. Notice that the captions were already automatically generated, and that's because the caption tool was over top of it. So let me zoom in here. And let's play this and see how it sounds. This was the end of this project. Ctrl-Shift there. Alright, so let's play it again. This was the end of this project. Alright, this is not gonna belong here. I'm gonna get them down here. This should be project. Voice in background. Is this? I know this will be of. And. Let's see here. This is the end. This would be was. Let's double check. This was the end of this proj. We're missing. Oh, we're missing this, so this is actually down here. We're missing a word here, okay? Same thing that we had at the beginning, so I'm gonna solve that by adding another track. We'll go insert track. In this case I'll go to above. Go back to my library. I used the first two, so I'm gonna have to add another word here. So we'll put this here. And add one of my saved words. Let's trim him back. Bring him down. And we're gonna call this. this. So we'll go see. Change that to this. Click to save. Now let's see if we got it. This was. So this has to go down here, so I'm gonna slide him down there. So let's see what happens. Alright, so I just added another word over top pre-existing narration. We'll go Ctrl-Shift-7. Let me save this, Ctrl-S. So now, if I clean this up here, send this back to here, notice that we lose our video. So to fix this part, I'm gonna try using a frame extension. It's a Alt to get that and drag it down. We'll play it. Screen. This was the end of this project. Ctrl-Shift. Alright, that worked out pretty good. Now again, if I play off this very ending here. Ctrl-Shift there, I really don't need that because it has nothing to do with the rest of it, so I'm gonna just Ctrl-Shift-End and cut all that out. Ctrl-Shift-7. Now if I send this home and play the whole project, we'll see how she came out. This is a short test capture being made of the Camtasia editor's user interface. Screen action is basically the cursor being moved around the screen. This was the end of this project. Okay, that plays really good. I'm going to reiterate the fact that we're working with separated audio and video. That makes doing this a lot easier. And I've also go back to my library, created some library assets that consisted of custom words without audio. Made a selection, put them in the library, gave them a number. And I also did the same thing for this blank space guy so that you can add your own additional words and adjust their individual timings.